I just need to know, am I the a-hole for kicking my brother and his wife directly out of my house? My wife, 31 female, and I, 30 male, had a baby 4 months ago. My wife has been suffering from PPD, and she's had a lot of breakdowns here and there, and it was just so heartbreaking to see. I decided to give her a day to herself and take care of the baby. So I took a small leave from work, gave her my card, and told her to do what she needs to do for herself. My brother, 35 male, and his wife came over the same day she was out for a visit, and asked me where she was. I told them she was out doing her own things, and they asked why I was babysitting the baby. I told them it wasn't babysitting when it's my own child. I was giving my wife some time to herself. My mother-in-law scoffed at me and told me she should be home like a good mom, and my brother laughed and agreed, saying that taking care of a baby's easy. I got mad at him and told him of course it'd be easy for you because you live with mom, so you could just dump the baby on her. He and his wife got mad and started yelling at me, so I kicked them out, told them never to come back unless they apologized. I told my wife about it, and she was sad that I fought with my brother because of her. But I reassured her that I didn't care, she's important. I got a call from my mom saying she agreed with me, but told me I was a bit harsh for what I said to him, and I can't help but feel like an a-hole for it. So guys, am I the a-hole for calling my brother out? What's up everybody, Mr. Reddito here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I have a small update before we jump into story 2, like a kangaroo, and we'll go ahead and talk about that now. Hey everyone, I just wanted to thank you for the feedback, and thought I'd also update you a little on what happened. First off, my wife has been doing great. She looks as happy as the day we found out we were having a baby. I give her the weekends to herself, considering those are my days off. I still help her with our child when I get home from work. Second, my mom called again to ask what really happened between my brother and I, because apparently he'd only told her that I kicked him out for saying I was babysitting my kid. So I decided to give her the full story, and needless to say, Mom was mad. Our mom was a single mother who raised both my brother and I, so she was beyond mad that he would say something like that about my wife. Next thing I knew, she was telling him and his wife that they had 30 days to pack up and leave. My brother called and went off on me for apparently making him and his wife homeless. I just hung up because I wasn't going to deal with him anymore. My wife and I are planning a small vacation to visit her parents soon. My mom's coming with, and she's really excited for them to meet their grandchild. Thank you everyone, and take care. Okay guys, so let me know your opinion on these comments and we'll talk about the story. People like sister-in-law try to justify their unhappiness with their choices by criticizing everyone else. Yep, facing other people, living what they want, supportive partner, owns a house, healthy baby, etc. just makes them envious and toxic. Rather than give strength to better their own life, it's the whole crabs in a bucket. They would rather everybody go down with them than putting the work to go up. So guys, I want to know, do you think that was the case here? Was sister-in-law truly just jealous? Drop your thoughts down below. I would like to know your opinion on that, guys. And we'll turn our attention to story number 2. The title is this: My mom wants to have a talk after kicking me out 2 years ago in favor of her boyfriend, who, get this, is only a year older than me, and bullied me throughout high school. My dad passed away when I was 1. It's been me and my mom ever since. As you can guess, my mom and I were very close. When I was a sophomore in high school, my mom got a part-time job as a gym teacher at my school. I supported her when she asked if I would be comfortable with it. It was extremely uncomfortable when guys would make comments on my mom's appearance. It also gave ammo to Brad, who bullied me in high school. He would make inappropriate comments about her towards me. Brad was a year ahead of me, so I thought I was finally rid of him after he graduated. Oh boy, I was wrong. When I became a senior, my mom started going out very often. Initially, I was happy for her because I wanted her to find someone nice. However, it came to a point where barely got any time together. To be frank, I thought she was just avoiding me. This was because whenever I tried to make plans with her, she'd already made plans before. I sort of kept it to myself because I didn't want to come off as needy. I did not complain when she missed my birthday because she was out all night. When she tried to apologize the next day, I told her it's okay. After 6 months of this behavior, I decided to take action. I asked my mom if we could have dinner together, just the two of us. She said she's too busy, and I got fed up and told her to stop ignoring me. She said that she was not ignoring me, but that she had a life to live. Well, that really hurt me a lot. Out of anger, I started to ignore her for a few days. And after those days passed, she finally apologized to me. However, she said she needed to talk to me about something important. She wanted to introduce me to her boyfriend at dinner. She did not sound excited about it. It sounds like she almost dreaded it. When the door rang, my mom opened it and introduced a guy to me. I was in extreme shock. It was Brad. I almost screamed at my mom, asking her what he's doing here. Brad came forward to acknowledge that this situation was uncomfortable, but he's sorry for how he treated me at school, and that he really cares about Mother. My mom asked us to sit, let her explain how this all came to be. I remember screaming, "I don't give a duck about your explanation. You tossed me aside for this piece of garbage. You're a pathetic excuse of a mother." My mom then defended him when she said, "Don't you dare call him that." She then said she tried to accommodate everyone in this tough situation by keeping the relationship away from me. She then said these words to me. "Like it or not, Brad's here to stay. If you don't like it more, then you're welcome to leave." So I packed my bags right then and there. I called Grandma and told her about the whole situation. She drove to my house and confronted my mom. After a shouting match between them, I left with Grandma. My mom tried calling me for several weeks, but I blocked her. She tried to visit me, but I called the police. After that, she sort of gave up. It's been 2 years since I'd hear from my mom. Then I get a call from her yesterday. She said it's urgent and needs to meet up. I don't know if I should go. What's up, guys? Mr. Reddito here. So there's one update for this story. It came out 2 days after the original post. I hope you're enjoying the content so far today, and let's jump into this update. I finally texted back my mom asking, where should we meet? She said we could meet for lunch at the restaurant at 12 sharp. I didn't have any class today, so I was good to go. When I arrived at the restaurant, I heard some woman screaming my name. It was my mom, who I haven't seen for 2 years. She asked how I was, and I said she would hug me, but said she knew I would reject it. Her voice was shaking when she asked me to follow her to the table. Unsurprisingly, Brad was sitting right there. He did not even look me in the eyes as we sat down. He just nodded his head as to simply acknowledge my arrival. As my mom sat down, she started shooting out multiple questions. What have you been up to? Are you in school? How's it going? I got annoyed and told her to stop wasting my time with these trivial questions. What do you want from me? She responded, well, before we tell you, can we explain how all of this happened? Sure. For those of you asking me to get her butt in trouble with the school board, I hate to break it to you, but they never interacted with each other when Brad was in school. Brad only knew about her because his friends would take pictures of her before the gym class started and share them with everyone. It was Brad who approached her at a bar. She didn't even recognize him. So he told her he went to the high school she works at and graduated recently. Mom was lonely and jokingly told him she would not tell anyone that he wasn't 21, as long as he hung out with her. So they exchanged numbers and made a promise to hang out with each other. She said she knew that I would not be comfortable with her seeing a peer of mine. So she kept it a secret and convinced herself it was going to be short and casual. Eventually, the relationship got super serious. When she was hanging out at his house, she asked him about introducing him to me. He told her it wasn't a good idea, and she responded by saying, "I'll get over the age gap relationship." He was forced to come clean about the relationship I had with him in high school. That's when my mom started tearing up and her voice was shaking. She said she was in shock about what she had done. She could not sleep at night because of the guilt. She couldn't even look at me without feeling immense guilt. She had him blocked on her phone, and after a week he sent her a message on Facebook to at least meet him once. So she obliged. He showed up with roses and begged for forgiveness. He even said he'll apologize to me in person and that he's a changed person. She took him back. The next day was when she invited him to dinner. My mom burst into tears and begged me to forgive her for hurting me. She then said these 2 years have been painful for her. Finally, Brad spoke and admitted, "She misses you like crazy, dude. She still needs you in her life." My mom said, "I'm sorry for being an awful mother. We want to make it up to you. We're moving to California, and we want you to come with us. We'll foot the bill for your education and everything. You won't even have to work. You'll have a permanent place in our home." I don't know what the hell came to me, but I started laughing hysterically, like a madman. It was the most ridiculous proposition. Now, this is what probably makes me the monster. This is what I really came here for. After I calmed down, this is what I said to her. "Mom, you must be delusional little witch. If you think I'll ever forgive you, you're dead to me. For good. The only acknowledgement you'll get is me peeing on your grave once you finally pass away." Well, then she was hysterically crying. I got up from the table and left the restaurant. Only a minute after walking to the parking lot, I hear my mom screaming at Brad to stop following me. I really wanted this confrontation. The moment he grabs my shirt, I turn around and sucker punch this piece of crap Brad right in the face. He drops on the road with his mouth bleeding. I smirk. Mom comes to physically restrain him from hurting me until he calms down. So I told them, "This is what I think about your proposal." Well, it's been 4 hours now since the incident, and I know deep down I should be ashamed of myself. But I feel amazing. I don't know if adrenaline can last that long. It feels like I took my power back. I found 2 really good comments that go back and forth, kind of. Let's read them. Brad saying he's changed, but him recognizing what he did to OP and going after OP's mom knowingly despite, that shows he hasn't actually changed. Meanwhile, the mom decides it's okay to date her kid's bully, who just graduated from high school. Ew, disgusting behavior. OP's better off deleting these people from his life for good. This is one comment too says, "For some reason, I'm remembering that post where OP finds out that her school bully was having an affair with her husband, and felt like it was just another escalation in bullying, rather than any kind of actual interest in the husband. Of all the people in the world Brad could have chose, it just happens to be OP's mother. I don't really buy it, and wonder how much of this hatched out of the bully's plan to further torment their victim." So guys, that's an interesting point. Do you think the reason Brad went for OP's mother is just for the fact that it's a chance to bully him even more? In my opinion, I don't know if that's true, but it could definitely be something to look at. And let's take a look at the final story of the video. OP asked if she's an a-hole for not contributing to her older brother's wedding. I'll just tell you guys right now, this next story is an absolute roller coaster. Let's check it out. A little backstory for setup. I was widowed a little over a year ago. My husband had a substantial life insurance policy and was a successful business that I've recently sold. I have no financial issues. I can raise my daughter without worry. My older brother proposed to his girlfriend back in January. She's nice and seems to love my brother. We have no issues in the past. Well, COVID hit, so we haven't done family get-togethers or anything in a while. Their wedding planning has been put on hold. Until recently, our state has slowly started opening and no one has been sick. Weather has been good. So Dad and Stepmom decided to have a family dinner on their outdoor patio to discuss my brother's wedding, with my future sister-in-law's parents in attendance so they could all get on the same page. I tried to dip out of there because wedding planning isn't my thing. I eloped, but was told my presence was requested by future sister-in-law. My stepmom said she thought I was going to be asked to be a bridesmaid, which would have been a big ol' no, but that's beside the point. Dinner was super uneventful, but afterwards my future sister-in-law pulls out a 3-ring binder, starts handing out, quote, information packets about her wedding. When and where she wanted it, pictures of dresses she was considering, colors, ideas of catering, pictures of cakes, everything as well-prepared bride could come up with. My favorite page was the list of expenses. How much she expected everyone to contribute. Her dad, her mom, stepdad, my dad and stepmom, my brother's mom, and me. I said, "You expect me to contribute? That's hilarious." I was met with a stern gaze from my brother. "Oh my gosh. You're serious? That's not happening." Cue the meltdown from bride-to-be. Her dad speaks up and tells her that she was already told that combined between him and mom and stepdad, she would be given $70,000 to do what she wanted. Just like they did for her sister. Well, guys, she starts crying. My dad chimes in and says, "Oh, yeah, between the 3 of us, we'll pay for a nice rehearsal dinner for like 30 people and an open beer and wine bar at the reception. That's it." Well, she starts screaming, like holding her hands over her ears and screaming, "Why's everyone trying to ruin my life?" So, I said, "This is where I leave." She stands up and comes to me and gets in my face, telling me how it's all my fault. I have money, so I should be willing to spend it on her, because she's going to be, quote, family. I just laughed, looked at my brother and said, "Dude, good luck with all of this," and walked out. My future sister-in-law blew my phone up for 2 straight days, calling me names, telling me how awful I am. I haven't talked to my brother, but my dad said the wedding planning has been put on hold while she reevaluates whether she wants to marry into a selfish family. LMAO. I knew in my heart I'm not the a-hole, but a friend seems to think that I should contribute just to keep the peace, which I don't really care about at this point, and my dad and stepmom agree with me. My other siblings do too, but are trying to stay out of it. Okay guys, Mr. Edito here. Don't worry, I'm not leaving you on a cliffhanger. I managed to find a complete update for this story. Let's jump into it now. Let me just start by saying I truly appreciate everyone who took the time to comment and message. Thank you. So, my stepmom wanted to talk to me, and she said I had a chat yesterday. The first thing she said was that my brother wanted to get together and talk this out, which we did today. More on that later, but my stepmom told me that she and my dad had seen future sister-in-law act like a brat a few times towards my brother, but never anything like the night at dinner. My dad told my brother that what happened was completely ridiculous and both he and her owed me major apologies. He also let my brother know that he now has apprehensions about my brother getting married to her, and he wanted my brother to really think long and hard about what he truly wanted, and that if he does decide to marry her anyways, he doesn't know how much of our family would attend. My dad did apologize to me, and I felt like he did not defend me to her. He just said that he was so shocked about what we went on, and that he could not react. So guys, my dad and me are fine, don't worry about that. As for my brother, it's sort of uneventful. We met for lunch at my dad's house today. When I walked in, he tried to hug me, but I wasn't having it. He did apologize, sincerely I believe. He told me that he knew about all the wedding stuff that she had prepared, but not the expense sheet, and that he had told her weeks ago what his parents were willing to pay for and that she could not ask me for money. When I started laughing again, he knew that she did not listen to him, and he was mad, but didn't want to cause a scene in front of everyone. He went on to say that when they left, he blew up on her, and she told him that she could not believe that he was okay with his family being so selfish. Well, it escalated from there, with her packing a bag and going to a motel, because her parents said she could not go to their house. I asked him where they stood now, and he just shrugged his shoulders. I asked if he still wanted to marry her, but before he answered, I said, hey, I don't care. It's his life and he could do whatever he wanted, but I and my daughter, whom he adores, would absolutely not be around her. And if he did marry her, that our relationship would probably change forever. I would never ask my dad to choose between us, and that I'm perfectly capable of being civil to him. At family events, but hey, that's it. I hugged him when he left and told him that I hope this is all the outcome he can live with. And I may actually be the a-hole now, but I really don't care. I'm okay with how it ended. I don't want an apology from her. She means nothing to me now. I feel like this is over and I can finally let it go. Alright, yeah, so this was a lot to take in. One of the top comments says, if anyone's complaining about getting $70,000 as a gift to use for a wedding and you're demanding more, that person has to be deranged, considering most weddings don't cost anywhere near $70,000, and some do, but like, you don't have to have one that big. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Drop it in the conversations down below. Let me know, what would you do if you were in OP's position? Would you go ahead and give the money just to keep the peace? Or say, this is ridiculous. My parents have given you so much already, and for you to demand money from me is absurd. Drop your opinions, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.